Hello. Hey, how's it going, man? Quick disclaimer before we start the video review. I don't know if this is your first time setting, video replay, but usually, for future references, if you ever decide to send them again, I would recommend just sending the, replay file. I mean, it's a personal preference, and I feel like other coaches would agree with me. Cause here, like this is perfect, right? Cause I get to see your POV, and I can kind of tell you where you should look more and what you should do differently. But if I have an actual replay, I have just more capability of going across the map, right? Because like let's say right here in this case, I want to show top lane, right? I try to click top lane, but I can't do that. Like maybe the scenario happens that I need to click top lane and demonstrate that, but I can't because this is fixed. This is just your POV, and you just we are limited in this type of replay pretty much. So yeah, for future ones, it would be better, if you just send the video replay, and then I can open it with my league client and do the work. Hopefully you get the idea, just because that way I can be pretty much more intricate, right? I can show you more. I can stop whenever I want. I can show you where the enemy jungle might be, just so you can get the idea, right? Because here we're not. Because I don't expect you to just get better after this session. I expect you to hopefully, pinpoint the mistakes. I'll help you, point them out, of course. And then afterwards, you'll just do your thing, try to build the good habits and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Without any further ado, though, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do before you start the game is that you always look at the matchup. So in this game, we're playing Azir against Katarina. So one thing that I want to get you accustomed to is the idea of crucial abilities. So every single champion in the game, no matter the champion, they have a crucial ability that is very important to them. So usually I like going with the Yasuo example. So let's take Yasuo. Yasuo doesn't have any dashes or anything like that. I mean, of course, if he's close to minions, he will be able to dash. But his dash is orchestrated, right? He can dash whenever he wants. Meanwhile, let's take Tristana. Tristana can literally dash whenever and wherever she wants. And yeah, therefore, Yasuo's crucial ability is the wind wall. Because if a projectile gets thrown at him, or if anything like that happens, he'll just use the wind wall, make sure he stays behind it, stay safe, and he'll do it, and he'll just, pretty much stay behind it and safe. So, the good thing about the wind wall for the enemy team, however, is that the wind wall has 30 seconds cooldown, and 30 seconds are a lot. Like a lot. So, pretty much hopefully you're kind of understanding what I'm trying to say here, is that, every single champion in this game has the wind wall. So just understanding what the wind wall is for the given champion is going to be very important, because if you know what the crucial ability is, then afterwards you can you can just do your thing, make sure you bait that ability, and then afterwards just try to go for a trade. Because laning phase is very important, and trading comes down to laning phase very crucially. So let's say you're playing late game right now and you're very fed. Chances are it doesn't matter if you smash your keyboard or anything like that, you'll just be able to carry the game. Because if you're fed, it just means that you have items and you're at a point that you're very comfortable, to just carry the game. But the idea is that we want to get to the late game, or we want to get to a point in the late game that we are fed. And that's why the early game is very important, because that will, if we play the early game efficiently and properly, that will allow us to, be in a good position to afterwards just snowball and transition to the late game where we are in a fed position. So that's very, very important. And yeah, so of course, when I say trading, I don't only mean the crucial ability, because with trading you have a lot of shit to worry about. You have how much mana and HP do you and your enemy have, what is the minion status, where is the enemy jungle, where is my jungler, do I have any vision, do I have summoners, does the enemy have any summoners, there's a lot of shit involved, right? But I feel like with the crucial ability is the thing that can, prevail above others, just because, if you have the crucial ability, uh, you're just super extra safe. It doesn't matter if you don't have HP or if you don't have summoners, you can still always run away. But if you don't have that, then you're more vulnerable. And you're either going to be forced to flash, or if you don't have flash, you're just going to be fucking dead, right? So, yeah, crucial ability is very important. And, as you remember, the first thing I told you is that we look at the matchup. So, it should become a habit. It doesn't matter if you, do it when the game starts. It doesn't matter if you do it in the loading screen. Doesn't matter if you do it in champion select. I would recommend loading screen usually, because it also take a while to load, so you have a lot of time to see what is going on. And yeah, that is perfect, because uh, you're just more aware of what is going on and kind of understanding who you're playing against. Sorry, here I ended up resuming accidentally. Let's go back, because yeah, I want to see this scoreboard. So you're playing Azir against Katarina. So we know that Katarina is a very strong early game champion. Of course, she's not the brightest because she's also a melee champion, and you're playing Azir, so you have to look to abuse her. I'm glad you go for Halo Blades here because you understand that it's a Katarina, and you have to try to bully her as much as possible. So Halo Blades here is perfect. You just try to bully her, get the 3 autos as often as possible, and do your thing. But you have to be careful about Karina because you always want to try to save a W. Because if you don't have 2 Ws, she can literally just, go in on you and you can't do anything about it. You always want to try to have a W behind you, and I would recommend having it behind you, like preemptively use the W behind you and then try to go for the poke on Katarina. Because, if she tries to go in or something, you're always going to have the W behind you, and then you can just either Q or something. Be careful because she can, literally just appear on your face, so you won't be able to actually dash the entire way. So be careful about that because it can be a bit iffy. Other matchups, because you're playing mid lane, right? And mid lane is in the middle of the map pretty much. So just going pretty much everywhere, because I feel like you just have that luxury, right? You can go top lane, you can go bot lane, or you can just assist your jungler. And I feel like if you do that, it's gonna be very important because you'll help your team out more often, and it will just be pretty good for you. Because there are cases that you're very fed, but you can't carry the game, and helping your team out by roaming or doing anything like that usually does the work. And Azir is one of those champions that you have the shuffle, you have the ulti, so actually utilizing that is going to become very helpful. Okay then, yeah, now we can just start the game and see how it went because I'm kind of curious now. Yeah, I apologize if it's a bit weird, not gonna lie, because I'm not really used to reviewing sessions like this. Yeah, because I don't really have like any luxury. I can't click on any champion or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully this will do the work anyway. So I'm glad you go for the type of poke there. Okay, lovely. So we end up getting some poke on here. As I told you, you have Taste of Blood, and you also have the Mana Flow ban. So attacking the Katarina as often as you can is going to be great. Okay, lovely. We get some damage there. Yeah, here you can try to go for the level 2 and then get the Q off if you can. Here we wait for Weight of Blaze to come back, which is lovely. Nice, we get the minion as well. So at this point you end up missing 2 minions, so try to be more careful about it. So you put the vision right there. So that vision is bad because it's too early. The idea behind that vision is, of course, it's good, but you want to try to put it after the cannon wave. Either if you're in a position to do so or not. And I'm glad you got topside, like to put the vision here, because you see that Lee Sin is going there, right? Lee Sin is going there, he's taking his topside, so afterwards he's going to go down here and try to contest the scuttle. So I'm not saying this ward is bad, like don't get me wrong, because you had timing there and all this stuff, so it was a good time to go for the ward, but usually try to wait after you push this wave, because it's just going to become more easy for you to, or like more efficient rather, because this ward is going to expire, and usually you want to try to put it right before the scuttle spawns, just so you have more, more timer on that ward, and you can kind of spot where the enemy jungle is more easily. As I told you here, you have to be careful about Karina. Yeah, you get some damage off there, but you should also try to be careful about her not getting as much damage back. Yeah, just like that. Okay, I like the aggressiveness. She ends up surviving with 1 HP, but yeah, it is still pretty good. The ward ends up helping us there, so as you saw yourself, it did end up being worth it. So it's actually very good. You're out of mana here. I'm glad you just give up on the wave, because after you come back in the laning phase, you'll just be put in a the wave will be put in a good position, so you have time for it. So you go for boots here. Yeah, going for boots here is nice just because it will give us the opportunity to come back in the laning phase faster. But for next time or for future references, you had enough gold to go for either Doran's ring or tier. And even though you don't really need to stack the tier, or like you don't need to upgrade the tier on an Archangel with Azir, it's still fine for the early game to go for the tier. And usually try to go for those early game items because they're very, very important. So yeah, like either Doran's ring here or a tier would have been better. So last time you saw that Amumu was coming mid lane, right? Or he was going bot lane rather. He was mid lane, he was coming bot lane. He was going bot lane, yeah. So you have to be careful that, he don't gang by that. I feel like, it's fair to assume that he's gone back. Yeah, because, a long time has gone by and he just came from topside this time around. As you see there, he purchased 2 Ruby Crystal, so, I'm kind of stopping on here because I want you to also keep in mind the jungle tracking, right? Because Momo came from top side. So it's fair to assume that he started bot side, then he went into his blue jungle, came from top side to gank you, then went bot again to take the scuttle or something, went back, and now he's trying to gank again. And those are all things that you should keep in mind because jungle timers are also very important. Like, we know that he is here now, he's going to go back or something to bot lane, and those are all things that you should keep in mind. And here, as I told you, look at the mana now. Like, you were chilling for the most part, you were doing your job, you were bullying the Katarina, and that's exactly what you should have done, right? But now you're kind of, out of mana. And here's another mistake. Let me see if I can go back. So right here, you 100% killer. And you have to, trust me, you have to go for this. It doesn't matter if Amu is there waiting, you just have to go for this. Because, look at your mana. You have 130 mana for the combo and you have 150, right? So just going for the EQ here, triple auto with the Hail Blitz. You can just auto it normally, it doesn't matter. And going for the Ignite, trust me, you'll be able to kill her. Yeah, you're gonna do enough damage, and actually going for it is gonna be very beneficial to you. Like, of course, I like the idea behind it. You're playing it safe here, because look at the giant wave that you might miss if you play aggressive. But those are cases that you can't really slip. Like, Karina can't really kill you. I mean, she can if the minions end up focusing you a lot and she ends up getting the daggers and all that good stuff. But I just feel like you have enough time to actually go for her. So yeah, you should have definitely tried to go in here. You had the W there, and it didn't go on. Okay. So yeah, let's make sure we get this. Now we're out of mana, so it's a bit iffy. So you're still pushing this. Let's see if you can crush the other one. Let's see if this crushes. Okay, nice. It actually did up paying off. That's pretty good. So you end up getting two amplifying amplifying tomes there. That's pretty good. At this point, you just have to try to get the lost chapter as soon as possible. So going for this is very nice. But yeah, like as I told you, like you can't really play this passive because in this matchup you're supposed to bully the Katarina. So that's why I'm telling you that there are certain cases that you just have to try to play aggressive and go for the play, to begin with. She's botlane right now. I don't feel like you can really, go there. So it's just like always better safe to go for the plates because you're gonna have free gold from them. Okay, nice. Raven gets a kill there. There's a lot of people bot side. We can still keep pushing this though. We're running out of mana, which is a bit sad. You should keep an eye on it. You always want to try to keep some mana if you're getting ganked or something. They're still bot lane. And so, now, I was telling you, get some plates and stuff like that, but as soon as you take the first plate and you realize that they're still staying bot lane, for some reason they fucking are. Let me go back here and see if I can stop it in time. Yeah, like, look at how low they are. Like, you can fucking just quadra shuffle these guys, and you pretty much win the game. And that's why I'm saying, okay, like, you're even hovering the map here, and that's why I was like, oh, you have the idea, but you should have really gone for this. Remember at the beginning I told you you're playing mid lane, and you want to try to roam as much as you can. I feel like Karina here just won the game, because she went bot lane, she got 2 kills for her team, and now the game is pretty much over. Like, I don't feel like your bot lane can do anything anymore, and it starts becoming, iffy situation, and that's why you should try to roam and go bot lane. Of course, in the beginning I told you, or like, right now I told you, don't go bot lane because Karina got a kill, you don't have time to go there. But as soon as you realize that she's staying this long, you just have to go bot lane and hope to, to get a kill. Like, even if the, gamble doesn't pay out and you don't go there in time, it's still worth going for it. Because if you actually do end up going in time, because look at how much they were staying there for. It's pretty much gonna, win the game. Because, yeah, the idea behind it is that the enemy bot lane, like, you saw how long they stayed there for. And, like, when they see you mid lane, they're like, oh, Azir's mid lane, we can still try to, capitalize on this and try to go for the play because we know that he's not going to come or anything like that, right? So, like, it's also psychological. Them seeing you in the mid lane will just make them be like, oh, shit, I know. Let's keep pushing because we know that he won't be able to do anything to us. Okay, nice. Good flash here. Let's see if you can get anything in return. Okay, and we get the shutdown. So, at that point, you tried your best to actually get the kill or to save the Riven. But it was a point that, that Karina just got the kill immediately, so you couldn't have done much about it. But I'm glad that we got the shutdown at least, and it gave us a lot of gold. Here, another mistake you do is that you don't wait for pink ward. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a pink ward deal already, just having the pink ward here is very important. Because as you see, the dragon is about to spawn, so you want to try to, have the pink ward for that. And, objectives are very important, so we want to try to, be a bit more, like map when it comes down to that. Yeah, here we can't really fight because you don't have the... Yeah, like, you didn't have the ulti. So, like, right as you go... So, let me go back once more. So, like, right here, like, right as you waste your E, the game is just over. Like, first of all, you just have to wait for W to come back. Like, here, Blitz ends up... what's the word? Ends up silencing the Karina. So, her ulti goes to waste. And I mean, I don't really think she can one-shot you all from what she did right there. So, like, you don't have to panic right here. Panicking is the worst thing you can do. You have to take it slow. We see on the minimap that Amomo is coming. Their bot lane is right here. So, like, we have all the time in the world. Like, I feel like if you had just focused the Karina, you would have been able to kill her instead. So here, now you go in a choke point, and you just end up dying as a consequence, and then just end up killing you. So, yeah, like, all those things are important. Like, you have to see, your abilities. You have to see if you have the ulti. You have to see when you can ult. You have to see who's coming afterwards, because someone was trying to flank you there. And of course, like, the idea is fine if Amon was a mid lane, because you just, end up running there. But you have to keep an eye on where they might be. You can't just, hope that it goes well. Okay, they tried to go for the shuffle, but yeah, like, you had a better time to shuffle here. So let me go back once more. Yeah, like, look at your soldier. You have the soldier like in the perfectest position ever. Look at your Q as well. You have Q. Like, literally just E here, Q if you want, and then just ulti 4 people. Like, here you carry the game as well. And this is one of those things that I want to stay strong about, is that you have to look for those type of plays. You can't just let them go to waste, because those are the type of plays that make you come back in the game. You can't just wish for them to go well. You just have to actually try and go for the outplay. And I feel like you're actually playing aggressive, because I like the aggressiveness you did early game. But I just feel like right now you're being a bit more, like, what's the word? You're just being more afraid to actually try to go for plays. And yeah, I don't really know why is that so exactly, but you should really try to like go for some plays whenever you get a chance. There you can't really do much about it. Yeah, like, we almost ended up killing him there. So the thing, yeah, there you even ping your ulti there, as I see. Yeah, you should just be more like more fast within, right? As soon as you saw that it came back. Yeah, Momo chased us a lot, so I can't blame you much there. The mistakes I'm mostly pointing out are decision making. I feel like this is the part where you struggle the most with. I'm glad you go bot lane here, by the way. Here, I gotta point that out. That's very smart, because right now we see that our bot lane can't go bot anymore, because they might get collapsed. So just being here instead is actually very helpful. And yeah, it's very important. So we end up ulting the Katarina. We see that, yeah, our team can't really chase or follow up, so we just have to flash there. I mean, the idea was there. I like it. You saw that Lee was there with you. You also had the Blitzcrank. So just staying there and actually making sure that you, help your team out and go for plays are very nice. But unfortunately, Katarina is just too fat at this point, so she ends up surviving without us being able to kill her. But the idea behind it is fine, and that's why, in the beginning, if you remember, I told you that, don't expect to get better from this game. Don't expect that mistakes you did this game, whatever. Just, it's mostly important that you understand them and that you have the logic behind it. Because, thus far I'm seeing that you have the logic in most cases. You go for the play there, you try to, actually make it work, you flash to not end up getting, killed by the Katarina. Like, those are all important things. Yeah, right there he ends up, I think he tried break there or something, I'm not really sure what happened. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, let's see it in slow mo. So you're right here. You end up ulting him, and he doesn't get. Yeah, it's pretty weird. But next time, please try to ulti here. Sorry, try to use the passive, because the idea behind using the passive here is that you're pushing alone. Your team doesn't, like, literally look at the map. You literally have no vision. The only vision you have is right here, and everything else is it's black pretty much. So you just have to expect people to come from there. So actually making sure you put the passive there, and afterwards doing that is going to be very important. So don't forget about that. Okay, we get to Leandres. Like, here's the thing I like about Azir, is that you're always going to be strong. It doesn't matter if you're 0-10, it doesn't matter if you're 0-20. Like, you can feed your ass off and you're still going to be very strong. What's important is getting those items and actually making sure that you are in a comfortable position to carry the game afterwards. Because you're going to be, trust me. Azir is one of those champions that, it's very good for the late game. I just feel like he struggles a lot in the early game because he doesn't have the best early game possible. So yeah, like, if you manage to survive the early game and you don't, tilt or something from your team, because yeah, your team kind of did goof this game, you can definitely carry the game when it comes down to the part. Right there, you decide to go too aggressive. Like, of course you get flanked by the Emu, but just the idea of being there in the first place is wrong. Like, you can't stay, or you can't walk up that much there. You just have to respect the fact that they're very strong and you can't do anything about it. So yeah, like, here I feel like, so let's see if you get anything here. Yeah, we almost end up getting it. So one other thing that I like about this game is that players will always throw the game. They'll become cocky, they'll try to go for weird plays that won't even work out, and they'll just throw the game themselves. So always, that's why I feel like it's better to play it safe than sorry, because if you keep fighting fights over and over again, it's gonna come a point where you won't even understand which fights are worth going for. And that's why it's important, like, understanding which fight is fightable and which one is not is gonna make the difference. Like, it's gonna make a huge difference. So just understanding that is very important. Okay, good usage of the ulti there. You try to attack them from afar. That's actually very worth. I don't know why Karina went that deep there. You shouldn't have flashed there, of course. I feel like you tried to survive there, but you're realizing that Karina is that fed. It's not worth you wasting your flash for. Like, just die there. It's completely fine. Because your flash, I feel like, is one of the abilities that is going to carry the game. Like you getting a 5-man ult or anything of the sort is very important. So next time, realize that you don't have to flash. Just save your ulti, or flash rather, sorry, and make sure you actually utilize it afterwards when you have to. Let's see what happens here. So yeah, like look at your positioning. This positioning is very, very good. I like that you actually, you were just staying far from them, but at the same time you were very close. So if anything like that happened, it would just end up, make sure that we get the free poke on them. I'm pretty sure that you dealt so much damage there. You go for the death cap here. So death cap is pretty much like saying, this game is over. Let me try to, get as much damage as I can off before, the game goes south. So yeah, good optimization here. Let's see if it will pay off. So you still have refillable, by the way. I would recommend selling it right now and just getting a stopwatch, because the next fight is going to be very important. Hopefully you get your ulti back as well. And like, just the idea with stopwatch is that next fight is 100% going to be the last one. For the enemy team at least, because if they win the fight, the game is going to be over. So you selling the refillable and focusing on the stopwatch is more important, because the stopwatch can pretty much carry you the game. Like, let's say you make a nasty engage or something, you end up shuffling a lot of people, and then that stopwatch is what is going to put you in a good position to afterwards just stall and make sure you're safe. Yeah, here we end up getting a kill. Yeah, I don't think you can do much here because the game is just over. Okay, great. So let me give you a quick summary here. So the first thing that I want to say is that this game was definitely winnable. I feel like, yeah, you mentioned even in the comment, you said that this was a silver game. And, I feel like those are the games that are mostly cancerous, because you first of all have a team that doesn't really know what to do and stuff like that. So you have to be the carry. And I feel like in this game, even though you did great for the most part, because I like the wave management, I like when you try to go in for trades and stuff like that. Like, for the most part, you played well. And I can see you hitting diamond with no problem. I just feel like you have to work more on the micro plays, the small things that make the difference. Both that and then the decision making. You have to understand when to go in, how to go in, when to fight. All those stuff are very important. In the side lane, you have to make sure you use the ulti or the passive. I keep saying ulti, sorry. Pretty much it's just the small things that can make the huge difference. So try to work on them, and you should be fine. As I told you, hopefully I did my best, because as I told you, I'm not really familiar with this type of coaching. I was really trying my best to see your name here or like in the comments and whatever, and to go on my actual client and download the game. But I would suppose it's Chinese, so I didn't really first of all have the server, and secondly, I wasn't too sure how to Google it. So I just was left with this. But please, I'm an Azir main, so if you have any questions about him or about the session in particular, feel free to tell me know, and I'll be more than glad to help you out. Alright, man, I wish the best in climbing, and have a good one. Bye bye.